Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to join this event. I'm Hongjie from IES INCA. Today's event is the second talk of our Technopreneur series, which includes 4 in total. For each talk, we will be inviting one successful entrepreneur to share their entrepreneurship journey, like how they started their business, achieved their achievements, what obstacles they encountered, and how they resolved them, extra. So if you are a technopreneur or you are an engineer and considering to start your venture, this series of talks is a good platform for you not only to learn practical lessons and skills, but also have the chance to talk to them and ask them face to face and get their answers directly. So if you have any questions, please type in the chat box. Your questions will be answered during the Q&A session at the end of the program. So today we are honored to have Mr. Jack Sim to be our featured speaker. If you know him already or have Googled him, you probably understand why we say he is really a legend, given that he has been into and also been successful in quite a few different industries and has been awarded numerous awards. So I would like to leave the rest of the time to him for sharing interesting and successful entrepreneurship journey and answering your questions as well. But before that, we will have Andy Lee, the General Manager of IES INCA, to give us a brief introduction about IES INCA and SG Founder Program. Okay, so now let's get started. Over to Andy.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our IES INCA event today. And also welcome all the IES members who are here to join us today. Right. So let me give you a quick intro to who IES INCA is, and then we will pass on to Jack after that. Yeah. Okay. So before that, let me just briefly introduce who IES is. IES stands for the Institution of Engineers Singapore, and it's a very organization that is the national body for engineers. And our mission as IES is to promote and advance engineering, professional engineering for the well-being of mankind, and for IES to be the heart and voice of engineers in Singapore. Yeah, so that's what IES does. And this is our old council that has since retired. Okay, just move on. Okay, so moving forward, hang on, let the slide refresh. Okay, so IES INCA actually is the stands for Incubator Accelerator. Our work is to support the engineers who are commercializing technology in supporting them to grow their business in the scale-up stage. Okay, so what do we do as IES INCA? We work with the science, technology, engineering ventures in engineering translation and to assist them in accelerating the market products to market and meeting their growth milestones. And our vision is a vibrant engineering venture and entrepreneurship community that can transform our lives through innovation and new technology. Okay, that's what IES Incubator is about. And the unique selling proposition of our incubator is that IES INCA is linked to the largest network of engineers in Singapore, and is recognized as national body for engineers and can lead this engineering movement for the new economy. And also in our incubator focuses on nursing and incentivizing engineering talent towards creating these strategic technology products that our country needs. And lastly, for IES INCA, we strive to be the hub for all engineering related new ventures, and we really link across the IHLs, the research institutes and industry. IES itself is a mix of members from academia, government sector, as well as the private sector. Okay, just skip to the next slide. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is our board members. And what IES INCA does is that we are supporting IES members who are leading the new ventures. We also work with corporate SME spin-offs and also IHL spin-offs. And we support through engineering translation, work, mentorship, and also business support training. The outcome we want to have is that these companies can reach investors to raise funds for their companies, to access into the business network, and to reach customer markets where they can grow their business. Yeah. So that's how we work on the companies. We provide the business structuring support, business planning, and once they are ready, we help them to source funds to grow the company. And companies exit incubation when they have an executable business plan, the necessary funding, and a very strong team and business proposition. Yeah. Okay. So these are our IES INCA focus areas. We are supporting companies in the area of infrastructure technology, building related materials, processes, and facilities management, IoT for industrial purpose and smart cities, robotics automation, and clean tech sustainability. These are our focus areas for companies to incubate. Yeah. Okay. Next slide shows some of our partners. We are working under the Enterprise Singapore Startup Accelerator program, and also supporting the Founder program. And some of our partners, IPI, Accelerates, and also NUS, NTU, we work closely to support the technopreneurs that are starting up and scaling up their business. Okay. We also have a partnership with our counterparts in the accounting space, which is the Institute of Singapore Chartered Accountants. That's where we have a joint investor network that has $12.12 billion to invest. Okay. And IES does not stand alone. We also have counterparts in other ASEAN countries, the equivalent of IES in the different ASEAN countries that also support engineering, and incubators can reach out to these countries through this network as well. Yeah. Okay. Companies that can be incubated with IES INCA, they need to have completed their customer discovery and validation, build MVP but need to scale up, addressing a market size of at least $1 million and above. The key team member is IES member. Yeah. And all engineers are welcome to join us as IES members. Okay. On the other hand, we also have a program we call the Dare to Transform program. This is our outreach to engineering and technology SMEs. We have a panel of consultants to help engineering technology SMEs who want to revalidate their business model for growth. You can contact us and we will be able to work with you and the company leadership to see where we can diagnose where the needs are. And next, we also can incubate companies who want to, SMEs who want to spin off new entities to commercialize new products. We can also incubate these companies. Okay, a brief info about the SG Startup Founder Program. This program has been upsized. This is some old slides, but SG Startup Program, right, essentially gives the 1 to 5 matching to help first-time entrepreneurs to be able to grow their business. Yeah, and new requirements, we need companies to be having 2 first-time founders in a team of 3 to get a 1 to 5 matching. Yeah, these are some old slides. You can refer to the latest information on the ESG website. Okay, just skip through. So, example of how this grant works is that teams can apply and work with the AMP like ourselves. AMP stands for Credit Mentor Partner. They will get, in this new situation, 25,000 upfront. And when they hit their KPIs within a year, they get the other matching fund of 25,000. Okay, these are all grant scheme where it's only 30,000. Now it's upsized to 50,000. Okay, so you get 2 tranches. First tranches upon approval of your new venture, and the other tranche when you complete your milestones within 12 months. Examples of milestones are shown here in these 3 cases. Okay. Yeah. And just for your awareness, there is actually ESG has a startup SG network website where you can access into network of startups, investors, and also incubators. And that's where you can gain visibility in the startup ecosystem. Yeah. Slide is taking a while to change. Yeah. So do log on and sign up, log in and sign up your companies, your startup into this database so that you can be more visible to the ESG and also other investors and incubators. Okay. Um, we're also organizing some causes to help startup companies going forward, and these are some of the causes we'll be running. Our one that is launching very soon is call it the launching new ventures successfully. It will be in the later part of October. We'll share with you more information on email. Okay. So I'm Andy, driving the incubator, and feel free to contact me if any questions about incubation or the SG Founder Program, and or just to chat even about your own ventures. Okay. I'd like to hand over to Hong Jie to introduce Jack. Thank you.
Now I will pass to Mr. Jack Sim. Over to you, Jack.
Thank you very much. So happy now we have a chance to talk to all the engineers. And Singapore is a trading hub, and engineering is of course a very big backbone, along with finance, along with all the hinterland that we have. We live within an ASEAN and an Asian context, where 60% of all the people in the world who are earning less than $8 US a day, they live in Asia. This marketplace used to be seen as charity. And of course, charity is not profitable. A lot of companies are thinking that these are not profitable business clients. But with the COVID, they have lost a lot of customers, and now companies are having overcapacity. So in the search of new customer, this poverty sector become a very exciting marketplace worth exploring, because actually, to be frank, all the developed countries are not making any more babies. It is the developing countries that are making babies. And if you want to have new customer, then all this base of pyramid marketplace is very exciting. Remember in 1986, all the Singapore businessmen went to China when China was a poor country. It's a base of pyramid country. There is no real customer buying yet, but everyone saw potential for the future. And those who stayed became very successful. And look at today how China has got 700 million people out of poverty. And so I want to present my PowerPoint to you and to tell you the opportunity, and you can start thinking as engineer, where do you come in, whether it is by mechanical engineering, helping create machine, technology, apps, whatever. So you can start thinking while I'm explaining to you this, okay? So I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? Yes? Okay.
Ken, thanks.
So I'm going to explain to you. So myself, just a little bit of history. I was a school failure, so I didn't go to university, and I became a businessman. And business was really much easier than studying. So I created a series of 16 businesses, including construction material, manufacturing, real estate development, the Australian International School, trading and investment companies. After the age of 40, I made some money and I decided to retire. And for the last 23 years, I'm now 63, I have been helping society change some norms and doing social work. And I work for free for 23 years now. I will continue to work for free for the rest of my life. Yeah. So COVID has killed, or now the updated number is 200 and let's say 2.8 million people already. Yeah. And and a lot of damages. So what is going to happen is that there's a lot of economic hardship, a lot of bankruptcy, job losses, talent redundancy, and worst of all, there will be a lot of mental health issue and riots. Yeah. So in this kind of a situation, we have to learn to be calm, right? Because 300 million full-time job loss and 1.6 billion of people, or half of all jobs, will be at risk. So what we need to do, we can lose money, but we cannot lose our mind. But instead of being a job seeker, we have to be a job creator. So we have to convert problems into opportunity. So the 4 billion people living at the base of the pyramid, this is a pyramid of wealth, right? So the top is very rich and middle class, and then the base of the pyramid is 60% of the population is earning less than $8 a day. But this, if we convert into a marketplace, is worth $12 trillion a year. So it's a very, very big informal marketplace, which is very interesting because everything they sell is low price and everything they buy is high price. So if they borrow money, they have to pay about 36% interest per year. If we borrow money to buy a house, is 1.5%. So this is the kind of very unfair business environment they are in, because we didn't include them in the base of the pyramid, which we are now doing. So the opportunity is that every year there's $150 billion donated to by foreign aid and philanthropic foundation to these 4 billion people, but nothing much happened. Most of this money go into the overhead, pay salary, go for meeting, fly business class, do some research, get McKinsey consultant to do some papers, 500-page report, but the poor continue to become poor, right? And so the opportunity is every year there is 1 billion people without electricity. So you can start imagining how to supply them solar panels and solar energy. That's one big business. And 1.3 billion people have no lighting, right? 1.6 billion people don't have enough housing. 2.5 billion don't have toilet. 2 million die of diarrhea a year. 4 billion don't have internet. And 4.5 billion, the sewerage is not treated. 820 million die of starvation, is in starvation, that means not enough food, and 9 million die of hunger every year. Now with COVID, this number is shooting up very, very big because those people earning less than $2 a day lost their job and they actually die of hunger. These look like terrible thing, but they are also business opportunity. Yeah? Because if you convert back, is to say how we can help the World Bank, how we can help the government of OECD country who are helping these people, how do we transform all this problem into business model. So there's 780 million people without clean water, 750 million people uneducated. If you do clean water filter, then you have a very big marketplace. If you do e-education, online education, you just have a very big marketplace. So the problems are basically opportunity and we have to seize it. So our methodology is to bring the government, foundation, development bank, university, multinational, small, medium enterprise, social entrepreneur, investor, UN group, international forum into a synchronized Swiss watch so that everyone is working together. Because today they are not working together. They are working very separately. And so there's a lot of wastages and therefore a lot of opportunity to reduce the wastages. So in Singapore, Some of you are as old as me, you will know that you also live in an atap house like the one on top, and now everybody lives in a comfortable flat or even private condominium. So Singapore turned from third world to first world in 25 years. And Lee Kuan Yew said nothing is for free. Everything you get, you must work for it. And so poverty alleviation in Singapore was done by getting people job, improving their income, and then get them out of poverty. We refuse foreign aid. When foreigners want to give us money, we say no. We want to work ourselves. Please give us training, technology, and opportunity. So this is the same for everybody. Never give money. Give money to build capacity, give money to help, give time, give technology, give access to customer, but don't give donation just for them to get by for a day. Yeah. So the problem statement has been clearly defined by the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goal, and therefore we do not have to even update them. Every month, these numbers will be updated for poverty, hunger, good health, education, clean water, solar energy, jobs creation, infrastructure, responsible consumption, climate change, and partnership. So all these are available, and the data of how many customers need them is available. To solve this problem, I built a new building in Singapore called the SDG Center. It is a 65,000 square foot building owned by myself. And I want to bring all of you plus everybody else to work together to solve the sustainability development goal as a social business. So business have to be profitable, and the customer who are the poor can also benefit. But don't worry, it's not about losing money. It's about making money together with the poor. So the vision is that everybody should have an opportunity to sustainable livelihood and dignity, and forging efficient ecosystem where the entrepreneur is supported, partners are connected, and resources are shared, then everyone benefits. And so the Enterprise Singapore, of course, is very interested to fund any businesses who are viable to enter such a project. And if you are engineers and you want to enter this market, please contact me, because I can help you create the type of business that you are suitable with your skills. So you may not know how to do business. You may not know where are the problems out there. We will help you, and you will go and apply for the $50,000 grant yourself, and we will help you handhold how to enter this base of the pyramid marketplace. We also formed a group globally called the Catalyst 2030, which is the amalgamation of all the social entrepreneur group, including the World Economic Forum, McKinsey, Harvard University. So we have 4,000 social entrepreneurs with proven business model. So we can just copy their model. We do not have to invent anything, except we have to adapt it. So this is a very, very leapfrog and much faster model than to learn from scratch. And usually startups go bankrupt because they don't know how to solve the problem. They don't know the method. So innovation is 90% failure, and the copy is 90% success. So we recommend copy and improve. So we have 4,000 social entrepreneurs. We think that the biggest waste in the world are ideas that are not recycled and reused. So we want to recycle and reuse proven idea. And in the future, nobody will succeed working alone. Silos will usually be defeated in the future by ecosystem. So we are a platform that are going to help you join other people ecosystem and not work alone. So we partner with NUS now to start a Center for Social System Innovation. And in NUS, there is the FinTech, Logistic, apps development, solar energy, agri-tech, education, everything. So we have now started. In fact, today, the first 2 employees given to us by NUS has started work. They all together give us 5 employees and also give us a lot of projects that are funded, also $50,000 each for their students. And we are working with 3 of them now and another 4 coming soon. So each group is 3 people. So we are proving that this model is profitable for everyone. And then after 1 year, we will create a full-fledged center funded by the NUS. So how do we start? In the in the traditional startup, the burning curve, right? The burn rate is very high, and the startup enter the value of death before the profitably happen. So this is very dangerous. In our situation, we leapfrog the learning curve so that they start learning from other people, they copy. So that their learning is basically about adaptation of what they have learned from other people. So by leapfrogging, your profitability is the risk is mitigated and your profitability is above the value of death, and then your chances of survival is much higher. So we take a community in Indonesia, in Philippines, in India, anywhere, and then we search for what are their local needs. Then we plug and play all their needs, the social business model, and then we bring in all the other ecosystem players like investors, government, its agency, companies. So by doing so, this synapse will shows you a very simple thing that this ecosystem will solve agri-tech, fintech, clean energy, ICT, and all that. So some of the people in the audience I already know very well, like Osehua and Pankaj. They are doing the TV white space, and it exactly go into this kind of sector. And you can already partner them to go into this sector because they create the village Wi-Fi, and then with Wi-Fi you can actually do training online and so on and so forth. Then I think to get them to the market with the better prices. So these are all integrated solutions. So for example, if you plant chili, then going to the market to chili sauce is like 30 times more expensive. So how about giving the farmer 1 time more price so that the farmer can process their product a little bit more value added, then they can earn a little bit more money. Whatever money they earn, they're going to use that money to buy something back from you, right? So they can buy, when they earn more money, they can buy the solar panel, they can buy the drip water irrigation, buy better seeds, better fertilizer, and the financing can be also cheaper because they got a little bit more money, don't need to borrow so much. So we are partnering with small medium enterprises in Singapore to create a farm to table shortcut. So we can even bypass the supermarket and sell on e-commerce. So all this eventually will give the small medium enterprise a chance to sell their product at an unfair advantage, because now they have one more selling feature called responsible consumption and production. So when they are selling, they can put a QR code on their product. When someone click on the QR code, they will see the farms, they will see the plantation, the farmer family, where this chili come from, and they will listen to the family how buying this chili sauce will make their family much more improved in quality of life. They can send their children to school thanks to you eating my chili sauce. So suddenly the customer has a relationship with the farmer, and they would like to do this because it makes them not just taste good, but also feel good. So this is a new market channel that we think is very viable, because in Europe, this culture is already very, very advanced. In Asia, it is still new, but it's definitely happening because the young people, they believe in this. So even if the old people are slow to adopt it, the young people learn this very fast through Instagram, through TikTok, through social media and tweets, and they immediately take on this style habit that the European are doing. So just telling back a little bit of story how I became a social entrepreneur. In 1998, I started the Restroom Association of Singapore after Goh Chok Tong say that we should measure our graciousness according to the cleanliness of our public toilet. So on November 19, 2001, I started the UN, the World Toilet Organization, and we call ourselves the WTO, and it became very popular. So every year, about 2 to 3 billion people are listening to our stories. And so we went on to BBC 2 months ago with 97 million audience. We now just shot 2 weeks ago with Smithsonian Channel for American audience, 36 million people. And so we keep on doing this type of publicity continuously per year. And in all over the world, World Toilet Organization became very, very popular. So does the sanitation agenda. There are all these children don't have toilet and they die of diarrhea. And so we started the World Toilet Summit series in Singapore with Minister Lim Swee Say, and then grew to every year in Taiwan, in China, in Belfast, in Moscow, and then we went to India with President Abdul Kalam opening up World Toilet Summit with World Health Organization and 6 ministers, together with the Crown Prince of the Netherlands, who is now the king. He just sent me a personal congratulatory message for our 20th anniversary. So this kind of movement created a lot of attention to sanitation, with President Clinton coming to do fundraising with us, Time Magazine calling me hero of the environment. And then we went to the UN to lobby all 193 countries. And eventually, through 10 months of lobbying, we got all 193 countries unanimously to declare our founding day, 19th of November, as the official UN World Toilet Day. And that legitimacy changes the entire conversation in the world about sanitation. It becomes a legit subject, no more embarrassing, and they don't call it water anymore, they call it sanitation. This is also the first time Singapore government has ever tabled a UN resolution by themselves. So it is also a first for Singapore government, because I'm not a UN member, I'm not a country. So I asked Singapore government to table it, and they took pride in our work, and they did that. So Bill Gates now invested 200 million in reinventing the toilet. Prime Minister Modi has built 110 million toilets. Together, we are part of his team. We have gone to India to build World Toilet Colleges with Amitabh Bachchan. You see, he's a very famous Bollywood movie star, and we train now 5,000 professional toilet cleaners. In Cambodia, we built 12,000 toilets. There's the local constructing and selling toilets themselves. In China, President Xi Jinping is now the toilet champion, and we have built 15 rural school toilet. We call them rainbow school toilet. And now the Chinese government is replicating it to 214,000 schools. Matt Damon came to support us promoting World Toilet Day. The Queen gave us the Points of Light Award. And Jay-Z, Coldplay, which are very, very big brand in America, performed in India, Mumbai on 2016 World Toilet Day to 80,000 free tickets. So we just create a movement that other people join in. So today education problem is that it is a plantation in school and it's a rainforest in the society. So what we wanted to do is to teach people how to think in a rainforest manner, because the world opportunity is outside, looks chaotic, but it's actually very fertile versus the plantation. So we want people not to think linear, like drawing 30 points to collect to be a chicken, but to think visionary. When there's no chicken, you have a starting point and end point, and you imagine the chicken, and you tell people that there is a chicken when people still don't see a chicken. And if you are able to create that visionary, then you are able to raise fund and create the business, because you can paint a picture to the people before it happens. So after you have created that, you start your MVP by behaving like a potato. You have a shoot, you have a stem, you have a root, then you plant in the ground and grow it, and then other potatoes grow by the first potato, and more potatoes get to grow. So the creating the system change is by storytelling, readership, politicians join in to win votes, taking our agenda, celebrities get popularity, academia do research for us and publication, public policy people get fund allocated, donors get visibility, and NGOs gets funding, and everyone gets toilets. So this is an example of how to create a social chain system without spending a single dollar, just telling stories. Right? So we use other people network, other people money, other people talent, authority, time, power, and brand. We align it all together. Everybody wants it. They keep coming back because it helps them make more money, win more votes, get more readership, get more publication, get more celebrities recognition. So when we are now working with NUS is to create massive transformative purpose using technology on the left side and social business model on the right side. So you have stuff on demand, algorithm, leverage assets, autonomy, dashboard interfaces, and the left brain and right brain work together so that we can harness the robots rather than to be replaced by the robots. The world population is now moving from the winner versus loser mentality to a facilitation mentality, which is more feminine and more harmonious. So we think that by an ecosystem approach, people will be unified but not uniform. And in the forest, everything is sustainable, and in our society, we should do the same. Okay, I would just like to have last question is that, what would be your legacy? On the last day before you die, what do you want to say to your children, your grandchildren, to yourself about what you have done? If you want to create your legacy, you can do social business with us. A billionaire is one that improves the life of a billion people. And so if you want to do business with technology to help people improve their life, we are the people that you should talk to. Thank you very much. And life is very short, like you to make it a useful one. Thank you very much. I'll stop sharing now, and let's have a Q&A.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks. Anyone have any questions for Jack?
Usually the first question is very hard to start. After that, it will be good.
Actually,
Yeah,
I
I'd like to,
to start. I just curious, what made you decide to do the WTO thing when you were 40?
Oh, so when I was 40 years old, I was facing a recession like this time. And I have made about a lot of money actually, because at 40, I already own 15 houses, right? So I started with zero. We were a very poor family, living in the HDB 3-room flat. And after failing school, I realized that doing business is quite easy. But when I lost half of my money, I realized that I still got a lot of money. Therefore, I don't want to have to live my life with a very a lot of money on the last day. But what do I want to ask myself? Do I want to say to myself that I have to check my bank balance on the last day, or do I want to say I have not wasted my time? So this is the main question I ask myself. I also sit on my street on Mayor Road and I look down and I say, will I be the richest man on this street? And the answer is no, because Lee Seng Gee is living down the street and the Takraw family and all the rich Indians were there. So what's the point of trying to make more money? You have enough to eat, to sleep, to pay the bills for your children's education. And the next question is purpose. And that is why I look for toilet, because it was the neglected subject, something that is totally embarrassing, and I thought, okay, if nobody wants to do it, that's the best place to start.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, Jack. When you are starting out on your first business, what are the things you will give advice if, let's say, you were advising somebody who is starting out their business? What should they look out for that makes it so easy, like you have mentioned, doing business?
Start business, you must first find a big problem. Find a problem that is as big as possible. If you found a small business, then your business, you will find a small problem, then the business will be very small. But if you find a big problem, a very large problem, then you will be able to solve it continuously for a very long time. So when I first started my business, I saw roofing tiles was very poor quality in Singapore. They buy from Malaysia concrete roof tile. So I went to import clay roof tile in Singapore, in France, and then sell it to Singapore and replace all the roof, 100% of all the roof in Singapore. And then for a while, 3-4 years is over. Then we start another business, doing toilet cubicles, and so on and so forth. But I found that all these problems are very small. It goes away after 4-5 years, and then you have to find a new business model. But whereas if I saw social problem, the social problem are into billions level. And although I don't make money doing this, the joy that I get from it, the satisfaction is very, very high. So I think it's more interesting to find a problem and to solve it. But now, with this base of pyramid market, you can actually get a lot of profit out of it, because the poor people needs to partner with you. So if you are an engineer, you could design a new machine, you could design a new process, you could design a new technology, app, whatever, and then your own product and technology is not enough. You have to mix with everything together, with finance, with business model, with marketing, social marketing, and then bring them all together. So when you join an ecosystem, you will be more successful. Yeah.
So, Jack, would you like to share with us like one of the very difficult situation that you encounter in doing business in your past venture, and how you overcome it? Just give us some inspirational sharing. Yeah.
Oh, every day doing business is difficult, and doing social work is also difficult. But the point is that when you have difficulty, then you feel that you are very intelligent. If it was very easy, after a while, the opportunity is also gone. So what we need to do is to continuously look for more and more difficult problem. That's why the type of problem that I look for is not 1 million people or Singapore type of problem, because Singapore type of problem is very, very small problem. Most of the things are already taken care of by the government, right? So what I try to do is I try to go overseas and look for the issues that are very, very big, like 1 or 2 or 4 billion type of problem. And when you think of such a problem, you will never be able to solve it yourself. Then we create ecosystem and partnership where everybody comes together and solve it together. Yeah. So basically, I want to ask you, in terms of the IES INCA, how can we partner you to build this marketplace together? Because there is deep tech, there is also normal tech. Anything, it need not be a single tech, you know. It needs to be a combination of many tech. And if we are able to do that, then we can do several of the engineers together with other businesses together and solve this problem. How do you think is a good way we can go together?
I think for awareness to the community, now they know BoP, bottom of pyramid, and then now they know SDG. I think it's for them to look at which area that really attracts them, that they can contribute. I think we have engineers in the infrastructure, in the electronics, and all that. Different areas, communication, that is very key to grow any community, to upgrade them to the next level. Yeah, certainly. I would say maybe you can share with the audience some of the projects that you have taken on to give them some idea what's happening in the ecosystem that is exciting, and then they can participate and come up with something. Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, this chili sauce company it's called JR Group of Company. They are making a lot of sauce. They're called Zheng sauce, right? Xinhuadi. So they say, when we are selling this product, we are selling it at the same price as other people. But if we are able to tell the customer that this product you buy is now also improving the life of the farmers, then the product itself will have an additional feature, which is helping people. So although the taste is the same, the price is also the same, the image is different, because it's no more an extractive company. For example, if you go to drink Starbucks, Starbucks costs $5 a cup of coffee. Inside the coffee, which is the main ingredient, is only 3 cents. If the farmers can sell the coffee beans at 4 cents, their life will improve very fast. But does that 1 cent affect the customer who drink the coffee? Nothing. So this is the kind of conversation we want them to tell the customer. So this is a kind of message that we want to tell the customer, that young people, they like to buy things that helps other people. And this is a market that you never ever imagine exists. Why must people be interested in farmer? Why must people care for other people? They shouldn't. You're not true. Because today, the young people, they don't think like that. They think that this is very important. And then in the future, when you see this market, you will realize that actually it's true. Why did I miss it? The other people caught the market like that. You see, when they are selling Nike shoes, what are they selling Nike shoes? They're talking about adolescent girls having no shoe to go to school, right? So when somebody sells Cortex, they're talking about poor people having no menstrual hygiene. When people sell products nowadays, it starts to relate with other things outside. So those companies who don't understand how to care for people, they start to lose out.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. So, Jack, are there any currently any countries that you are close to that you are already doing projects with them that have a big BoP population that we can reach to or work with? Yeah.
Currently, there is a company at the NUS that is providing drones. So they are designing drones pod. So instead of an airport, you have a drone pod. So you pay them $100,000 a year. They will manage your drones in this drones pod. They'll supply all the aeroplane, and it can fly up to 100-kilometer range, remote control. And then it can deliver medicine and deliver mails or deliver whatever products to the other remote area. And this is a business because the government also wants to reach out to these areas and where routes are too expensive. You know, if you want to deliver something 100-kilometer might be very far away, then you can create these drone pods. So that is one technology that is very, very viable. And I think you can start thinking about like e-health, e-commerce. You can start thinking about all these fintech, any app that you can create that you can help people to reduce their operating costs, reduce their purchases. And then you also can have mechanical engineer to design machines that can actually process the product in the fields so that by the time they sell, they do not have to sell raw plantation producers, but already processed downstream. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You have a question, Ms. Hong?
I just want to hear more about your stories. What not like unusual stories happened to you? How what problem you met and how did you resolve them during your entrepreneurship journey?
So personally, I felt originally that as a Singaporean, we are islander mentality. Our brain think only of Singapore and we think very small, like, oh, other people are more greater than us. Other people are more intelligent, like that. Then I went to the World Economic Forum and in Davos, and I was really enthusiastic to look forward to meet the world leaders and the most powerful people, right? And I realized after meeting all the prime minister and president and CEO, I realized that their intelligence level is very similar to us. They're not much cleverer, about the same. And despite of the fact that they have such high title, in fact, some of them are not very clever at all. I don't know how they get there, but a lot of the world leader is actually not very smart. So I start to learn a few things. The number one thing is that this is the reason why the world is so screwed up. Because this kind of leader runs the world. That is why the world has so much poor people. That's why the world is so badly organized. And the distribution of wealth is so bad that 80 billionaires own as much as half of all the world money. They will never have time to spend the money. So I find that this kind of distribution of wealth, even the game design of winners and losers, is very, very silly. And why do we want to spend all our life trying to get money when we never get the chance to use it? And why is it that at the end of our life, a lot of people end up in divorce, end up in heart attack, end up with all kind of personal trouble, sacrificing all these good things in life by just making more and more money. And I asked a lot of billionaires, what do you do with the money you make? He says, I have no time to spend. I say, why you have no time to spend? He says, because I spend the time making some more money. So what will you do? I give to my children. And then what do you teach your children? I teach my children to make more money. And they also have no time to spend. Yeah, no time to spend. So what will they do? They will give to my grandchildren. And then more money again and no time to spend. Yeah, no time to spend. Completely no time, just making money. So I asked them, are you stupid? Then he said to me, Jack, you don't understand. I don't know any other skill except making money. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't even know how to relax. I just know how to make money. So this is the problem. And for me, do I want to be like that? I think I don't want. I want to, on the last day of my life, I want to say to myself, I didn't waste the chance to make service, because service is the highest exchange of time. When you don't have money, you need to exchange your time for money. When you have money, you still exchange, then money you can make more, but time you cannot get more. So the time is the most precious commodity of your life. And if you exchange a more precious commodity for a less precious commodity, which is money, you are doing a loss-making business. So this is my thinking.
Interesting.
Since you are so gifted on making money, you also can spend some more time to teach people and share with other people how to make money who don't have that much money.
Right now, I'm teaching you that you can make money by going to this, working with the farmers. If you work with the farmers, they make money, you also make money. And if you make money together, you will not just make money, you will improve their life also. So this is the kind of thing I think is useful. A lot of the other startup that I see is actually Ponzi scheme, you know. A lot of startup, they didn't make money. They are making the exits. They are trying to create an app. After that, they sell to a greater fool who take over. And then the greater fool sell to a greater fool again. Then they go to IPO and everybody lost money. Then they close down. So this is very, very, let's say, con man job, you know. And I think those you cannot do. You shouldn't do like that. You look at the WeWork, for example. How can WeWork make money? So they lost money. So now with COVID, I think that Masayoshi-san, he's going to lose a lot of money. But he was thinking that there are a lot of stupid people who will go and buy his share, right? Now you look at Uber. Do you think Uber will ever make money? Or Airbnb? These are all Ponzi scheme. And I think that if we want to do a business, we have not to stop thinking of money first. We have to start thinking of solving a problem first. And if you are able to solve a problem, you will make money, but you will also solve a problem, which is to make the society better. So two things you must do, not just one thing. If you really want to make money, the easiest thing is to create a porn site. because you just create a website and upload a lot of the pornography and you will make a lot of money, but you don't want to do that because it's an immoral business, right? So there is a lot of people doing immoral business, like doing online money lending. Every day I get SMS, do you want to borrow money? So these are not the good business to do. So these are people who don't think about solving a problem. They think about making money. So they will end up doing every type of thing. But if you are a good engineer, you use your brain, you think how my intelligence can create solution for the people, right? For example, if you think about the Osehua and the Pankaj, they start the white space, the TV white space. And then what is the reason? It's because people who don't have Wi-Fi now can have Wi-Fi. So that is engineering, and that is a solution for the poor as well as for the rich. So try to think of things that make the world better. Don't think of how to book for cinema ticket and all this. They don't need it. They can already book cinema ticket. Don't need to think of another way, right? So there's a question about a COVID situation.
Yes, there's a question asking in this COVID-19 situation, what challenges have you encountered in your WTO agenda?
So COVID is both good and bad. The bad thing is that COVID killed a lot of people. But COVID also raised the awareness of the hygiene, because now everybody is washing their hands. Whereas before, only 50% of the people are washing their hands. So this is now a very big educational way. And for us, we do not want to see that COVID is a problem. COVID itself is a very interesting warning of what the world will happen if we continue to do it in the same way, business as usual. If we continue to do business as usual, engineers will be able to design virus and if the virus leak, it will create this kind of trouble. And maybe this thing did not come out from a lab, but there is a lot of lab that are creating viruses. And I'm a teacher in Singularity University, the highest technology university in NASA. And I look at it, why are all these engineers trying to invent things that are so dangerous for the world? And when I asked them, the engineers told me, you know, if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. Therefore, I have to be the first one. They are trying to clone human beings. They are trying to do designer babies. And I asked them, why do you want to do this kind of immoral things? And they say, because if I don't do, somebody will do. So I have to be the first one. It's a very stupid reasoning. I cannot understand them. They're very, very intelligent engineers, but they do this. Some say because I got the funding, so I got to do it. They are creating drones that can weaponize and kill people with small bombs. So a lot of technology, if you are an engineer, you want to be a good person. You want to be able to solve problems, and you want to be able to make the world better, not make the world worse. Yeah? One of the missing thing I didn't tell you is that I became a professor because I went to the university when I was 52, and I studied part-time at Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy and graduated with a master's degree at 56. So I became an adjunct associate professor and at NUS, and now I have an honorary professorship from an Indian university, and next year I'm getting an honorary doctorate. So the thing is, I fail everything in school. I'm considered stupid, but I think our educational system forgot that there are multiple intelligence, and people may not be good at academic study, but may be good at entrepreneurship, may be good at other type of skills. So I hope also education will eventually recognize all kinds of skills, including artistic skills and all that. Yeah. So right now I am working with NUS, and if we can partner with IES INCA to create this kind of deep tech venture, NUS has a lot of deep tech that is researched by professor, and they are filed and no use, just publish and file. So we should pull all these files out and work together. And of course, we need the market. And the market is 4 billion new customer at the base of the pyramid, and very, very viable to do this business with them. COVID is important also because it gives you time to reflect. What is the purpose of your life? It gives you time to think, why must I follow this journey, this rat race, this stressful life? Why must I continue to run my life the way that the society has designed it? Why can't I design my own life? And one of the way you can do it is to start your own business. And we can help you. So I want to ask you, Andy, when you call me to speak about this, what do you hope the audience will get out of it?
I think for me, when I first heard of the BoP was probably like 4 years ago. And I think a lot of people have not heard of the BoP, the bottom of pyramid. And that's where a lot of things we take for granted in Singapore that have been solved to our comfort level, still out there in the world, many people don't have them. And like what you have championed for toilets, a lot of it, clean water, energy, communications, things like that are actually very important. Education is very important for them to have a basic life and grow from there. And certainly the UN has championed this SDG, and SDG puts it very nicely, all the areas that can be able to be built on. I feel, personally, I feel as Singapore, we have been privileged and blessed in many ways. And it is our duty to actually share a lot of the things that we have with our friends in the ASEAN and also in Asia, that they can also benefit as well. You know, what's the point of keeping all this to ourselves, right? And that's where I'm hoping through Jack we can access and have a clearer picture. Where are they? And then from Jack's network, we can partner to them with them and bring some of this technology and solutions there. I think we still struggle because we don't have that network. But I think you have the network, so we'll be happy to engage with you to know exactly where, who has the need, where is the 4 billion people to reach to. Yeah.
And we can also do trade mission and bring you to see some of the very successful models. Yeah, you will be very surprised in Bangladesh. There's so many successful social enterprises that we can partner with. In India, there's so many. And so these people are potentially very good people. And we, you know, in a commercial business, you always have this you win, I lose type of mentality. But in the social business, it's always win together, because people are more trusted in the social business sector. And I'm not talking about losing money. I'm talking about making money. And so a lot of time people thought that once you say the word social means, wow, must give donation. No, this is not the case. It is about solving the problem using business model, using technology, and combining multiple technology into one. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. It is actually not very different from running a regular business, right? It's just that you pick areas that have a social impact as one of the parameters as well, instead of just putting profits at the highest level. Yeah.
Correct. But if you don't make profit, you cannot continue to run a business. So can you imagine that the poor borrow interest 36%? Can you solve this problem? If you can solve this problem, can you imagine we get the cost of fund at 5%, maximum 10%. Then the spread is 26%. It's a lot of money. So you have to think, how am I going to cut it from 26% to, let's say, 18%. So you already cut off 8% and you still can make a lot of profit. As long as you create a business model with the app that can solve this, right? So you will be surprised that M-Pesa, M-P-E-S-A, M-Pesa is a digital currency that has been created and invented by Kenya people, Africans. They are the first people who started this digital currency. And did they do it through the bank? They didn't. They do it through the safari.com, the telco. And so the telco replaced the bank. And M-Pesa is very, very popular in Africa. And then what happened? Bangladeshi, this organization called BRAC, B-R-A-C, they say, why don't we copy? So they created B-Cash in Bangladesh. And now this is the biggest digital currency in Bangladesh. It's like Alipay, right? In Bangladesh. And then of course you have Alipay and you have WeChat Pay and all these things. And people are creating digital currency all by themselves without even asking for approval. And suddenly people are paying through their cell phone. In China, then nobody use cash, you know, even the beggar asks you to, you know, put the QR code and donate money to him, right? So the hawker center, you go to the street food, you pay by QR code. So I think that we as Singaporeans need to learn so much about the world by traveling, by visiting them. And then once COVID is over, I want to organize that everybody go and visit, even nearby, you know, it could be Indonesia, it could be Philippines, it could be India, it could be Bangladesh. And then suddenly you saw, hey, all these people, they need housing, they need energy, they need cook stove, they need clean water, they need education, they need medical supply. I can provide it. And so I tell you one company in Singapore called, this is a big company, that the world biggest company that provides lenses. Then they design spectacles that are $6. And then they help the poor get spectacle because the poor people don't get degree spectacle. So this company called S-Law, right? They built their BoP design center in Singapore and they finance themselves and promote themselves, and now they want to provide eyeglasses to 100 million customers, and it's profitable. So they are calculating it like that. There's another company that is it's called Danone. They're providing yogurt to the poor, and they use their yogurt technology to produce a very simple model so that the people can eat yogurt very, very cheaply. I have visited even Bangladesh, and I saw how they make milk companies. So they lend money to some woman, buy a cow. The woman take care of the cow, make sure the cow is happy, produce a lot of milk. They buy the milk back, and then they go to build the chilling plant, and they produce packaged milk, and then they deliver by the poor again to the houses. So there's a lot of jobs that are created, you know? And I think that the Singapore government will be very happy to open up this new 4 billion marketplace, and we should all work together to create these businesses. So Pankaj has said how the SME facing business challenges during COVID crisis can respect the skill shortage. How can government help? I think that the training is very important, And we should not train just for training purposes, but train for the end result. Yeah. Janice, you want to say something?
There's one question about package. Is one of the greatest challenges facing mankind now is the climate change and environmental issues. Much talk about slow action due to political disunity. What leaders should know mankind is like a human body in which all are interconnected, but most will take actions only if these benefit themselves. How can engineers contribute under such political conditions?
Yes, the engineers can contribute by their engineering part. And then the business people can join in to help on the business part. But the politician, there's no problem with the politician if we are doing it through business. If we ask them to change policy, then it will be very difficult. So I think we just do it by ourselves without asking for their permission. As long as they don't disturb us, normally they just let business run. And if we are able to create that kind of a win-win partnership, I think that solving climate change cannot be only the government job. For example, if we can generate demand that people don't want to use the one-time plastic use, then the government eventually will say, oh, if all the people will vote against me because my competitor, my rival politician say he will ban one single-use plastic, then I will also ban single-use plastic. So suddenly you must design the incentive for people. The politician, his only thing in his brain is election, power, popularity. If enough people want that, the politician will do that. If very few people want that, they might arrest the person who suggests it. So they are just a victim of how many people are demanding it. But before you create that, you just create the market condition so that this can be solved. You are right. The world is like a human body. Everything is is interconnected, but the function is disconnected. That's why just now I show you the Swiss watch clock. Everything is connected together. Yeah.
Maybe you want to address Pangkat question. I think may not have addressed it yet. Yeah.
Roughly, I think the manpower skill shortage of running a business should be solved by the training, because my problem in this country is that we train the people to think in a straight line, and we didn't train them with tech, and we didn't train them for a lot of issues. For example, today if you go to Indonesia and get an engineer, you pay 2,000 US dollars. If you get the same engineer in Singapore, you pay 3 times more money. Similarly, you get an engineer in India, you pay 3 times less. So if Singapore becomes so expensive, then maybe what we should do is to outsource whatever tech skill is needed, and then just do the only intelligent part, which is the hub function in Singapore. Because if we continue to have manpower coming to Singapore, it is a bit overcrowded, and there's a lot of social issues. So you might as well outsource it online to them as much as possible while they stay in their own country. Yeah. Of course, you will need the very high intelligent one here, but then you should subcontract out. Very, very simply, that the manpower shortage is caused by the educational system unable to focus on what is needed in the future of the market. That's why we have to end up employing so many people from outside. Our conversation with our politician is not very smooth, because the politician doesn't want to listen to our suggestion. They felt that it's too troublesome. It's better they just decide all by themselves. And they miss the opportunity of the feedback from the people. And after a while, we miss so much opportunity. In fact, very highly qualified people have been moving out of Singapore as well, Singaporeans. And I see them in so many countries. I see them in America, in UK, in China. And I think we should be able to train more and more such people by accepting that there are multi-intelligence in any society. What I would like to encourage everybody is to speak up lah, because whatever you think you will, because we are islanders, you see. Islander has a certain kind of mentality that we are small. So you don't think like that lah. Think big. Think of the whole world. At least think of Asia as your market. I go to Israel. I teach the MBA, adult MBA class. Every of their startup, they will say the same thing. We will trial in Israel. And the moment it is tested, MPV good, we will go to America. So Israel behave like they are the 51st state of America. Can we behave like we are the center of Asia? If we can think like that, it's better than we think we are Singapore. Singapore, too few people, 5.7 million people, there's not enough customer for you.
Yeah, hi, Jack.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah, I've been following you, right, Jack, on Facebook, and I think what you said today, right, cover extensively. I mean, from a businessman standpoint, and also from your the years that you have seen Singapore and your international exposure. So clearly, I mean, you know, I'm in my 50s, right, and we have grown during the 60s and 70s. We realize that how poor we can be, but also when even we are poor, you know, there is a path forward if our mind is clear on what we want, right? So like I think this is the first time I hear someone so blatantly clear criticizing our education system, which I fully agree with you, because many a times I realize, you know, I've worked with up to I'm still employed, right? I'm working. This is my number 7 company. There is a serious problem in being self-entitled. That when something happens, it's always someone else's fault. Okay, this is clearly a Singaporean problem. I don't know why it's like that. Is it because we are extremely competitive that we become ruthless when it comes to finding a scapegoat? Right. So there's no group thing, you know, there's no group thing. And then look, I went through the army. Right. What's the army about? It's about power. Who has the highest rank? When you're a major, everybody listen to you, right? You have, and if the power is not used wisely, what do you get? Abusive, right? And I agree with you. I think right now is to build the future, right? We got families, we got the young. You know, our runway, it's not that it's gone. There's still a certain runway, but their runway is longer. The world they face is longer.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I talk to my I have daughters. I said, look, my father, your grandfather came from China, right? Key thing is that you have to know that what your skin color is. You must remember your roots. You must eat rice. I mean, maybe old-fashioned, but I'm not taking it radically to the extreme. What I'm trying to say is that you must know where you come from, which region you live, what is the influence, the circle of influence that you can do. Okay, don't be confused. I think sometimes I observe that sometimes Singaporean look down on Singaporean.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah, very sad, right?
We should be proud of ourselves.
I tell people, when you go to America, don't bastardize Singapore. If Singapore is so bad, get out here.
Actually, Singapore is one of the best managed country in
Exactly.
the world.
There's no system. Yeah, there's no system that is perfect. There's no system that's perfect,
we are
right?
respected by the world as trusted, as stable, and as the honest people. Our culture is very respected by others, but we didn't know that. We didn't know enough to respect ourselves. So if we were to feel proud about it, we will be a strong nation. What happened in the last 50 years is that our government remind us to be proud of the government, not proud of ourselves. So this, we have to change that.
Yeah, so I agree. I think Singapore has many talent, right? I mean, amongst you, you're one of them, right? We are able to, you know, we have brands like Sound Blaster or Razer and all that. So there is talent, right? And now really for the next 50 years, I mean, we cannot run the same way like we run the last 50 years, right? There's a lot of intimidation. There's a lot about playing around fear.
We can ignore them now. We can build ourselves. We are owner of the country.
Correct, I agree.
We can solve problem. Instead of grumbling, they also will listen. So we work by ourselves and no need to be political. We can solve problem for each other. Think about Singaporean, but also think about the poor around us, other country, because this is where we get a quality of life ourselves, because you don't just get money reward, you also get spiritual reward, you see. You want to know that you are a good human being and you want to live that way, you see. So this is, I think, worth it to live a beautiful life, not just for your family, but for as many people as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think more people need to listen to you. I mean, I have the benefit to do that. I've been trying to tell people about the webinar. You know, look, I think like what you say, very sadly, a lot of people is interested to make money, right? And
not wrong lah, but
no, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There totally nothing wrong. But the fact is that sometimes you see, it's like you have a friend, right? Your friend tell you, hey Jack, I have a good bak kut teh to tell you, it's damn good. But these people have second thoughts. But you are already his good friend already. Would a good friend bring a piece of nonsense to him? No way, right? It's a lack of trust.
What we do is I will tell you, Singaporean are pretty high quality compared to a lot of countries. You go to America, they're all fighting with each other. There's most of the technologies in America are from non-Americans. They are from outside other country, go to America because they got the infrastructure. So if we build our own infrastructure here to attract talent, we can build a very big hub status over here, and not just attract foreign talent, but also develop our local talent. Singaporeans are very talented, very valuable. We should treasure each other and help each other to grow. And if you all have any question about how to enter BoP market, please talk to me. Please, I'm always, I will reply and I will give you time. Don't worry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So are we coming to an end to our call now?
Yes. Thanks, Jack, for the sharing. Thank you very much. Very pleasant talk and communication. And thanks everyone for joining us today. We will send you all a post-event email with the info from today's event. By the way, our next Technopreneur Series Talk will be held on the October the 21st, presented by Dr. Also Wa. He's the founder and CEO of WizPace, a fast-growing technology company. If you are curious about how he expanded his product market into 7 countries in 4 years, then welcome to join this event with us. Besides just like already just mentioned, we will launch our first offline course on October the 23rd. The topic of the course is Launching Your Tech Venture Successfully by Mr. Leong Soo Wai. This will be a 1.5 day workshop that provide engineers, entrepreneurs, and business leaders insights on what is a startup and using the lean methodologies to validate the potential of the intended tech venture. Okay, all about our upcoming events. If you have any inquiries about IES INCA, please feel free to contact us. Okay, Andy, shall we take a picture or we can skip that?
Yes, we can. Let's have a group picture.
Okay.
And also with Jack. Yeah. Those who like to just turn on your camera, just take a group picture of whoever is here with us. Yeah. Okay. Anyone? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else would like to turn on their video? Yeah. Join us for this group picture. Okay. If not, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But thank you very much for this. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Smile at the camera. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, God bless. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jack, very much for your time. Yeah.